Hi, this is Gilles, the radio prepper, and in this video I go maritime mobile. And believe me, it's much more difficult than I thought it was. So you won't see a whole lot of radio in this video, but I still wanted to share it because of all the people who supported me during the trip, followed my progress and tried to contact me, and some succeeded. It all started when I left for Spain on July, I think it was the 7th. Had to fly from Nice to Paris and Paris to Barcelona. Barcelona, take the train down to a small town called Benicarló. Let's have a look.
Vous déplacez dès l'extinction de la consigne, attachez votre ceinture.
I just got here today, this morning, and started looking at the sails and taking things out a bit. I'll show you around, and realizing the the huge undertaking I'm getting into. I restored 2 boats before, and unfortunately now I know what I'm getting into, and that doesn't make it easier. But hey, you know, I don't want to discourage anyone from restoring old boats. I think it's an awesome adventure, and I'm going to do it again. And my concern today, though, I mean this week of course, is to be on my way to back to Antibes from Benicarló in Spain, and that's, you know, following the coast is about 800 kilometers, and it's a long way. And I do have to be back to work on the 20th of July, and today is the the 8th, and the boat will be back in the water on the 10th. So 10 days for 800 kilometers, that's 80 kilometers a day. That's a lot. So for a small boat like that, I mean, you know, if the wind is good and everything, I could do it in much less time, but who knows? I don't know. So we'll see how that goes. Birds had a field day on this boat, and of course I'm gonna have to pressure wash it. This is not very nice, but hey, one thing at a time. And also down here, this is not real wood, you can see. It's this type of material, and I don't like that because of course you don't see what's under it. And when water gets under and something bad happens, you just don't know. So this will probably have to go, but not today. I'm also not a big fan of these types of finishes where you have some plastic covering glued, you know, sticking. This is not real wood, same kind of material. Everything is in shambles, of course. I'm just moving everything out of the boat, and it will need a lot of aesthetic, you know, cosmetic work for sure. Painting, sanding and varnishing and all that stuff, that will be a lot. So 6 sails, 2 mains, 3 jibs, 1 spinnaker. Oh, and this is my survival suit. And as I thought, a second main. I wonder which one is bigger. I think this one might be a little smaller, and this one might be the bigger one. Yeah, I think that's bigger. So 2 mains, awesome. One for good weather and one for not so good. And I got a thinner jib here next to the big one. Well, apparently I have a spinnaker. Second coat, they got it right. Well, that ought to give you a good laugh. Yeah, it looks pretty goofy, but I'll tell you, I had my fill of sun, 22 years in Florida. I think I had my lifetime dose of radiation from the sun. So everything is going well. No wind really, a little bit of headwind, so I'm running on the engine and it's running good. I haven't really covered as much ground as I hoped to today. I only have 10 days to make the trip, so and day one is not won't be the longest, that's for sure. Oh well, tomorrow is another day. End of day one. And I'm all red. I look like a drunkard with my red nose. Well, it was very tiring. Solo sailing it's really tiring. It's not easy. It's very physical, and you think it's just being sitting, at the helm and just waiting. What it is that, but you do have to go back and forth and do things and tend to the sails and a lot of stuff, and you bang yourself everywhere. I'm sure I'm full of bruises, and I do remember that. And I guess it's I have to yet to get my sea legs. So I'm stopped here at I think it's the nautical club of hospital or something like that. I'm not even sure where I am, but I'm actually in a marina. So I'll try to leave early tomorrow morning. I was going to try to make some radio contacts, but it's already like almost 11. It's just too late. So maybe tomorrow night, hopefully, I might install. I think I will install my antenna tomorrow morning, the MPAS, and then I might try to do some contacts during the day. But there is a little bit of water that splashes over, so I don't know. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do that. But man, just quite an adventure, and I have 9 days left. I don't know how that's gonna go. I'm gonna be exhausted, but it's also exhilarating to bring that boat back to home, and after losing my sailboat Dagny in the Bahamas. I've mentioned this before. I think it took me 3 years to be able to watch YouTube videos on sailing again, and another year to plan on buying another boat, and then I got it, and then this present situation hit, and I couldn't get it back from Spain because I couldn't go to Spain, and now I've got it, and it's really hard, but once I have it home and once I can set it up the way I want, it's going to be awesome. It's already an awesome boat, really good behavior. It doesn't do anything funny, it doesn't surprise you, and it sails pretty darn well. So pretty happy about that. Now I'm going to go to bed, and well, I'll keep on filming tomorrow. It's very hard to film on a boat. I have to and of course running a sailing channel, that's going to be very different from a radio prepping channel. Nothing to do with it, because it's more life, a radio channel, it's all technical, and but a sailing channel, it's the human side mostly. There is some technical stuff, there are a lot of things, but it's not the same, and I have to get used to film that, but that's another story. Almost the end of the day, guys. I have to install cameras on the boat. That'll be much easier. But here's my destination, and actually I don't know how this town is called, but I'm almost there. There is a nautical club there. I hope to find a diesel and maybe a meal, maybe a shower. That'd be nice. Big ships around here, they come fast. Hi guys, second day. Not going as well as I hoped. I was on my way and noticed a low voltage message on the GPS. The thing is, I think the water pump for the motor is run by electricity, so it's an electric pump, and the motor started overheating And so I had to shut it down. I had to shut down my everything. I had to shut down, cut off the batteries, so I have a little power maybe later to start the engine when I get somewhere. But it's sail only from now on, and I'm doing about 4 knots. So should be about 14-15 hours to Barcelona, which should put me there at 1 in the morning. So I might just keep on going past Barcelona and go further, find a little tiny place somewhere, or I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I need a motor to enter a port, so I'll find someone to tow me in. But right now I gotta put some miles under my keel, and that's all that matters. So I'll take care of it a bit later. I have to say though, it's pretty quiet. I like it without the engine, that's for sure. It's real nice. Maybe I'll do some fishing. Not gonna play chicken with this one, that's for sure. It's working again. I don't know what happened, but I restarted the engine. Temperature is stable. No idea. Morning of the 3rd day. I'm about to go, but I want to show you my radio installation first. Alright, so I have my Chameleon M-Pass, well, the hybrid micro, and the clamp here in the back. And the whip, 3.2 meters whip. This goes to an ugly balloon, an ugly choke, I would call that. Because the Minion SDR really doesn't like stray RF currents. And I have my ZM2 tuner, so we'll see how that goes. There is absolutely no wind today, so that's a bummer. I'm gonna have to use the engine the whole time. You know, I know nobody owns frequencies, but that's on 14300. It's the Maritime frequency used for distress calls, among other things. And I can imagine the poor guy in the middle of the Atlantic getting a 5.9. And you understand now one of the reasons I don't like contests, you know. Anyway, some of them. CQ, 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 CQ. This is Echo Alpha 3 / Foxtrot 4 Whiskey Bravo Yankee. Echo Alpha 3 / Foxtrot 4 Whiskey Bravo Yankee Maritime Mobile. Over. I decided that I was not going to spare you guys from anything regarding boat life, so I'll let you guess what this cut-off bottle is for. I don't think I'm going to be able to get anyone on the radio today because there is a contest going on. And those guys have no respect for anybody else. There's a guy stuck on 14301 splashing all over, and I guess I have to wait that he has to go to pee to be able to place a call. I feel like I've been hit by a truck last night. It's just difficult, very physical, but hey, it's time to go. I'm hoping to get close, if not past the border, the Spanish-French border today. That would be nice. We are in Balis, so it's kind of, and it's not that close from the border, but if I do a good run, I don't know, the weather doesn't seem to be that great, and I don't think there is any wind. That's the problem. Not an ounce of wind today, so it's gonna be motoring the whole time. Well, no, maybe not the whole time, but this morning at least, I'm sure. Alright, it's already 10:30 today. We are the 14th of July, so it's Bastille Day. I think I'm gonna go direct to Toulon, so straight across, and that should take about 30 hours, and it's gonna be very hard because of the lack of sleep, of course. Now I do have an autopilot, but given that my batteries are, alternator are not behaving very well, but I think there is enough juice for the well, at least for the navigation lights. Then we'll see if the autopilot, the Raymarine, will do his job. I mean, not pump too much current. We'll see about that. I have to get some diesel and get everything ready. I get my survival suit in the back and just go. And I better hurry up because otherwise it's going to be a bit late. Dolphins, a bunch of them. They jumped around the boat, incredible. Today I'm running a different antenna. I have a long wire running down from the spreader here. Goes to, well, it kind of turns around here and goes to my 921 Unun. Not the best arrangement. I should have used a shorter wire, but I didn't quite know what kind of length I needed, so but hopefully that will work. CQ, 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 CQ. This is Foxtrot 4, Whiskey, Bravo, Yankee. Foxtrot 4, Whiskey, Bravo, Yankee, Maritime Mobile, over. I get an awful noise on 20 meters and it doesn't do it on all frequencies, so I think it's my autopilot making RF noise. Very dark tonight. This is all I can see. The compass. I'm using my little flashlight and I'm watching the compass and I'm just driving the boat at the helm. And that's all I can see and it's so black. So just keeping an eye on the compass, 060, and that's it. 6 hours to go. I should start to see the sun at about 6 a.m. So right now it's 11 p.m. So it's going to be a long, long night. Alors là nous avons Marco F4 TXR qui est venu pour le voyage et devant, vous n'allez pas le voir là, qui est en train de changer le phoque. Sainte-Maxime.
Sainte-Maxime, on va trouver un hébergement à Sainte-Maxime, donc on va arriver en pleine nuit puisque on va arriver, il y a encore à peu près 6 heures de route.
And of course I forgot to film the arrival, but I made it back, and of course this is the boat. It's safe and sound, and so am I. I learned quite a few things from this trip. A lot about sailing, of course, but a lot about the radio in a marine environment. And conditions were quite horrendous during my crossing of the Golfe of the Lion, Golfe du Lion. I had 4, 6, 7. The first day was fine, relatively calm and not much wind. Actually, I would have wished there was more, but then maybe I wished a little too hard, and I got 4, 6, 7 for the next, the night and the day and the following night, and that's really rough. And there was big waves, and twice I was thrown. I was sitting like this in the cockpit, my hand on the tiller, and I was projected into the stanchions on the other side. The boat went sideways and the sails almost touched the water twice. So I reduced sail and I continued like that on a small mainsail. And I was 40 hours at the helm, and it was a constant battle, physical and mental battle to do that for 40 hours on end without any kind of not much of a break. My autopilot worked for a few hours, but that's the only thing. Otherwise, the conditions were too rough for it, and it would just lose its mind, and the boat would just go lose its heading, and that was bad. So I turned it off, and I finished the trip myself, and I hope I don't have to do that again, but hey, you never know. One thing that I discovered first is that commercial radios are not meant for that kind of environment. And proof is my Minion SDR got splashed with salt water, and well, doesn't quite work anymore. No more display, just a little, a few crashing sounds, and that's it. So I'll have to open it up and try to fix it. Otherwise, send it to Yuri, see what he can do. I haven't checked my Weber MTR yet, but hopefully it's still working. The only one that fared really well is actually my Yaesu VX6, which is waterproof, of course. So there you have it. But otherwise, any radio operating in the cockpit, which is here, you're at the tiller, and you have your hand on the tiller, and you just you have your radio here, but you have water splashing over, and of course, if the weather is pleasant and there are no waves and wind, that's fine. But I had really bad weather, like you saw, and it's just inevitable. Of course, you could use, and I should have used some kind of a case, or who knows, a Ziploc bag or something like that, something totally waterproof to use those radios. And my future plans is are to have a radio inside the boat and having an extension for the key and headphones, so that the radio doesn't get splashed. And for now, that's pretty much it. Antenna-wise, the M-Pass worked well. I made 4 contacts in CW using, a 3.2 meter whip on 30 meters, so that's pretty good. I didn't want to use the mill extension because that would have been too high, and then the wind would have taken that out because there was quite a bit of it. Also, the old version of the whip did collapse one of the how do you call that, things that are inside the tube to join them. They're pinched, and one of them got loose because, of course, it's not a mobile antenna. It's not meant to just do this all the time for 40 hours on end. So, but the new version doesn't have that problem, so I would not hesitate to use it again. Otherwise, I'm plan on using like I did, a wire up the mast. I still wonder if I can use the mast maybe, or the stays or anything like that, but I'm not sure if they're connected to the water, so of course that would not work. But I may also use an insulated stay, replace the back one maybe, and use an insulated one to use as an antenna like I had in my previous boat, and that might be an option. Alright, so I won't make this any longer than it needs to be. You guys saw enough, and probably a little bit too much sailing and not enough radio, and again, I apologize. But I really would like to thank people again who tried to contact me and supported me during the trip, and gave me well wishes and asked me how I was doing, and so on and so forth. So thanks again, guys, and now we are returning to our regular program. Have a good one.